Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the second last episode for The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 15. In this one, first, we're going to give our thoughts on who we think it is that Negan picked up. And spoiler warning, as per usual, if you guys are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which is up to The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 14. And if you guys didn't see, I did my full-length review for Episode 14. It was a really fantastic episode. I'll have it in the end screen videos for you here, so you can watch it after you're done watching this video. You can go through that, because really Episode 14 was, I think an important episode for the series. I think an episode that really shows The Walking Dead can still be great, can still have awesome character moments, and can still be faithful to what they did originally in the series, even back, in the first few seasons. Mentions of Andrea and, Morgan and Rick having some important moments there. So, awesome episode. Really love 14. So, 2 final episodes left for The Walking Dead. It's kind of crazy to think that Season 8 is almost over already, but 2 final ones with the big finale before we get into Fear. So the first one for this one is the biggest, or the one that's being talked about most right now, is who the hell did Negan run into? And if you missed this part in episode 14, maybe you're in the washroom, or if you haven't seen it, basically you have Negan, he's driving back after the junkyard, and he runs into somebody and he opens the door for them. So obviously it's somebody who he knows, he's familiar with, and is not looking too good, is in kind of bad shape. Which he comments on, and then he basically allows them into the car. And then when he gets to the sanctuary, he wants to kind of keep everything on the DL that he's back. Wants it to be a surprise or something like this. So the questions came through from Levard Dixson Dandy Mandy with a comment, and Shockin, Hockin as well, who had a comment. And it said, "Hey Trev, Q&A. What if the mystery person Negan picked up was Savior Laura?" And then the other possibilities that people mentioned, Gregory or Sherry. And Gregory, people kind of ruled out right away, because Gregory is in the promo back at the hilltop. So it can't be Gregory. We're pretty much down to, out of people that Negan would know, that we know anyway, assuming it's like an important character and it's not just some random savior or something that we haven't met yet or something, which is always possible, I suppose. But I tend to think it'd be an important character here. Either it'd be Laura or it'd be Sherry. And most people now, from what we're seeing, think it's Laura. And I forgot about Laura. Of course, Laura, if you guys don't remember, she was with Dwight there, and she found out that Dwight was basically sabotaging the Saviors, sabotaging their attack against the survivors, and that he was helping out the survivors when she ran off. Now, that was back near Alexandria. So if she had been on foot all this time and really ran into some trouble and just, had a tough time getting back, having to fight off, zombies along the way and maybe getting stuck a few times or something, I suppose it's possible this is just her kind of lost or kind of on her way back now at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't exactly know the way, perfectly back, and she's going through the brush and she doesn't want the survivors to find her. So it took her quite a while, and maybe she got maybe lost along the way or something, running away from a herd, running away from zombies. Just sometimes it can take a while to traverse even short distances in a zombie apocalypse if you don't have a vehicle, and if you're not heavily armed or something. It can be kind of tricky. So I like that answer. I think that's really good. Sherry is one where, man, we're going to have to see if they even bring Sherry back into the series at all, because, really, it's been a while since she's been in. Like season 7, right, was when she left, I think. See, I don't even really remember. She just, for me, for some reason, she was the first one to kind of come to mind that Negan would speak to like that. But I suppose you could talk to Laura like that as well, too. And she was in the show more recently. Like, she left more recently, so we tend to think that she would be closer by, whereas Sherry probably would just take her chances out there in the world and, never return of her own accord. Laura would be on her way back to the, at least if she knows where she's going, back to the sanctuary, I would think. And I do like that idea. So I'll agree. Number 1, I think, is Laura, most likely, that he ran into. Possibility with Sherry, but it's been a while, so we're not even sure if she's going to be in the show again. We'll have to see. Killed off screen or something wouldn't even surprise me. But I tend to think, because she's Dwight's kind of past, that they'll bring her back in eventually for him, but I don't know if Negan would be the one to kind of find her, and not like that. So I do think that the Laura idea is a really good one, and it could also stir the pot in the drama for her to let Negan know what's going on with Dwight and, what's happened, and that he's basically, he's playing for the other team. That is, if she decides to tell him. There's a possibility she could get back, Dwight could be there, and she may not even say anything to anybody because she knows what it would mean. It would mean that he wouldn't get the iron. He'd get Lucille, I would think. So we'll have to see how it all goes down. But Simon looks like he wants to start some stuff and, take Negan out or something. I think at this point, now that Simon's had a taste of power himself, I tend to think that he probably won't be okay with Negan just waltzing back in here, taking over again and deciding what to do for the Saviors. I think he's probably going to want to, once he's got it, he's probably not going to want to let it go either. So I tend to think that he's going to try to overthrow Negan here now that Negan's returned. Punk Rocker for Life, 9674 says, people always say the actors lie and hype up the seasons. Andrew Lincoln said the second half of season 8 is character-driven, and it's his favorite parts of the season because it reminds him tonally of seasons 1 through 4. I don't see how anyone can say that was bullshit after 6 episodes. Into the second half, season 8B has been on a roll. And I agree 100%, and that's true, he did. And, yeah, man, from what we're seeing, that's, he was being honest there, and I get where you're coming from with this one. A lot of people, they always kind of say, they're always excited for us to see their work, to see their new episodes, and they always kind of hype up each part. But, that's part of their job. They want the show to be successful. So, of course, they're going to want to, and they're proud of their work, too. When they work really, really hard on the show, obviously they're going to say, well, this is going to be great. You guys are going to love it, that kind of thing. And they hope that we will, I would think, pretty much all the way through. And for the most part, I have. I enjoy basically every season of The Walking Dead. Even season 7 gets a ton of hate, but there's lots of episodes there I love, too. The season 7 finale, for example, is really good for Sasha fans in that. So really good stuff. But that's true. And, this episode 14, definitely some of the best character-driven moments we've had in, I would say maybe since last season, a long time. Some really important moments here, for those characters and awesome stuff, harkening back to earlier episodes in The Walking Dead. Preston Shinall says, didn't the spot where Carol found Henry look like the same spot Rick told Sophia to wait in the woods in season 2? Interesting. And people were saying that they actually shot it in the same place too, which I haven't verified yet. I haven't gone through. I haven't seen Talking Dead yet, or that. I tend to do that stuff after I'm done my own videos to get the videos done for you guys first, and then I can go through and watch it myself for my own kind of pleasure afterwards. But that's really cool, and I just really love what they did with that as well too, with Henry kind of in so many ways being similar to Sophia, but in this case, Carol is strong now, so she gets to save him. Rather than being told to just, hey, wait here on the highway, we're going to go, it's okay, stay here, we're going to go figure this out. Carol is now powerful enough to go and do it herself and get it done right herself, right? So that's awesome. If you want something done right, do it yourself, right? Really cool. So I just loved it, man. Awesome. Baker Boys RC says, I'm super annoyed that Jesus has literally no part in the show. He's one of my favorite comic book characters. And that's true, man. I mean, this season, I almost forgot Jesus hasn't even been, I almost forgot about him, when you mention him here, I was like, what? He's not, oh yeah, he hasn't been in the show forever. When was the last time we saw Jesus? It was earlier on this season. And since then, it's yeah, he's going off to, he's working. He's going to get some stuff for them and try to do his absolute best to do so. But it's just funny that he's been, so absent for season 8 and for so many of these episodes. There's just so many characters I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice he wasn't there. I really didn't. Which is I'm not hating on the character or anything. I totally forgot. I didn't even notice he's not there. Kay Lightning Bolt says, Rosita has surpassed her comic book counterpart at this point. Comic Rosita did nothing. And you want to talk about surpassing your comic counterpart. Look at Morgan, too, right? This is why, some people, everyone's got their own opinion, and it's cool. If you like the comic book series better than the TV series, that's totally cool. We're all entitled to our own opinion. People like, one media versus another sometimes. People always say, like, if you ever watch a movie, you guys ever do this? You watch a movie, you talk to somebody about it, and there's a novel. Let's say there's a novel about the movie prior, and the person's like a big fan or a big hardcore geek about whatever it is you're watching. And they say, "Oh yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as the books, right? It's not as good as the novel. Have you read the novel? Oh, you haven't read the novel? Oh, okay, yeah. The novel's better. The novel's even better than this. You should read the novel. Yeah. I read the novel, so it's cool, right? You know how guys they always do that, right? They try to out geek each other, right? The Walking Dead TV series is one case where this geek will tell you that the TV series version, I believe, is superior to the original comic series version. I really believe they've taken the comic version and they've done so much with it that they've actually made it even better overall as a series than the comic series for The Walking Dead. That's me. That's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own. As awesome as the comic series was originally, it never developed the characters like this. It never developed Morgan like that. It never developed Rosita like that. There are so many things in the TV series. We can do a whole video on that. But really, I mean, they do an amazing job of developing those characters more than the comic book series could really do. Because of the media that it is. So the medium that it is, it's a comic can't be like that, right? But in a TV series where you have 16 episodes, you can extend some. You can have all these different. Man, they've just done an incredible job with the series. They really have. Shockin Hockin says, Trev Q&A, whatever happened to the guy named Wade? He was obviously a savior and seemed like he could have been as important as Simon and Dwight. Wade was the one in season 6 that found Dwight, where Daryl was involved there and always accountable. And we just saw his legs, and then we never really saw or heard of him again. So I guess we're to assume he was killed, but really I think they just used the name and they forgot about it. That's what I think. It's what it is, but who knows? I haven't seen any other savior named Wade, but they have killed so many, and there's been so many groups. But you're right, he did seem like he would have been like a lieutenant of some kind. That said, though, there's just so many saviors, it's hard to even know. I mean, there could be people underneath, Dwight, Simon, and those that are kind of like Gary is one where he's not a leader of his own whole unit, but he's part of Simon's unit, but he doesn't seem to be just a regular guy. He's spitting on Jadis and stuff like that. So, some of them seem to be kind of more stand out. And Gary in the future, I think, will be pretty important. We'll see him later on. He'll probably get more of a role and kind of become more in charge later on. Which is not good because he doesn't seem like a good guy. Kyle Syndicate says, the best moment, Rick, I give you my word, April Fool's. Right? That's true yesterday. Was April Fool's Day. So that's true. Liar, right? The governor would say liar. Now we know why the governor didn't trust him, right? It's like, there it is. He says all this and then liar. So, yeah, man, that's like the first time that Rick has given somebody his word like that, I feel like. And he's just, but can you blame him after Carl? It's like, man, this battle in the end better be something because he's going to have to kind of change his outlook on things. Maybe from doing this at this point, maybe he'll feel guilty about it later. So when the choice comes up again, he'll do the right thing. Morally the right thing. Maybe not, the right thing in terms of like battle, right? So Jot just happens says, Morgan's too much of a liability. He annoys the hell out of me now. And really, bro, like you're like the only one. You don't like Morgan? Like I guess everybody's got their own thing, right? But for me, Morgan is one of the best characters in The Walking Dead, I think. Like I used to think like in the first couple seasons, I was like, oh yeah, Morgan's pretty cool. But Rick and Shane were like it, right? At this point, I think Morgan has surpassed Shane. I think he's surpassed Daryl, all these other characters. And we'll have to see what happens with him in Fear. I hope he survives at least for a couple seasons in Fear. Give me at least 2 years of Fear and I'll be happy. Because I don't want to see Morgan be killed off, man. He's one of the best characters in the show, I think. And a liability. Dude, he's killed more than anybody in All Out War, I'm sure. Like, I haven't counted the numbers. But, maybe that 50 cal wielder killed quite a few Kingdomers. But in terms of the survivors, Morgan has done his due. He has killed so many saviors now. It's just like a massacre. Like, look at how many. And how could you not understand? Because this is the thing. Morgan has literally been like the angel of death in this season. He's killed, like, he's wiped out like whole stations. Him and Carol have taken out like all of Gavin's group. I mean, he has gutted a dude. He has, blood on his hands everywhere. He has killed so many saviors this season. He has probably done more work in All Out War than anybody else. I would say, as far as the survivors go, he's probably the one that has done the most work of anybody in terms of, getting the hands dirty. And of course, each one I think takes a toll on you. Seeing a ghost of somebody who you killed, or somebody that you didn't kill in Gavin's case, Henry and everything else. I mean, I totally sympathize with Morgan, everything he's going through, and I just think it's like, he's done so much work. It's crazy and dirty work. Like, you don't want to be killing people, but that's what needs being done, and that's what he's been doing. So, I don't know, man. Well, you're entitled to your opinion, so it's cool. FDog04 says, The Walking Dead is actually getting interesting again. The helicopter will come into play again in Season 9, or in the Season 9 premiere, they're saying. And that sounds about right. I'm sure it probably will come into play later on. And it's pretty cool that they included that. It's something they've kind of alluded to for a while, or they've kind of set up in the junkyard, never got back to, and it's what it is. And KL Lightning Bolt says, I think "I don't die" might be my favorite Walking Dead quote. And that's a pretty sweet tagline, that he's got there, right, for Morgan. I don't die, right? That's awesome. And, it's kind of like at that moment, too, he's like saying this, but then we're like thinking, oh my God, are they going to kill Morgan off right now? And then it ends up in the end that he's killed them all, with Rick as well, too. So, awesome. I just love it. It's awesome. Spanish Superfly says, sigh, Tara lives, and a sad face. And so a lot of people want to see Tara be killed off. Well, you may not have to wait that much longer. We'll see what happens in this finale. She could be one of those, finale deaths for The Walking Dead, but wow, we'll have to see. And that'll be it for the Q&A for today, guys. Check out the review if you missed it. Check out my predictions for episode 15, because we just have a couple left now for this season to be wrapped up. And if you like this video, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about who Negan picked up, who it is, if it's Laura, Sherry, or somebody else. And if you like this video, thumb it up below, share, favorite. And if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it, and you can do it. You can subscribe at the bottom. That's it for this one, guys. I'll see you again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. See you guys soon.